Hello everybody and welcome to the Daily Splatt. I just thought today I'd talk again a little bit more about Twelfth Night the musical. Yes, I know it's over, this isn't a plug. Yeah, yeah, the show which finished about 4 or 5 days ago now. I'm still, I suppose you'd call it suffering, but suffering's not really the right word. I'm still feeling the effects of post-show blues. PSB, as I like to call them. Basically, whenever you finish a play, I find that you've really enjoyed, like I have on a lot of plays, I tend to find that you go through a 2 or 3 day period where you just hit this sort of melancholia. You know, not extreme. You know, not the world's going to end, but you just hit this slight oh, well, what do I do now with my life and other things. I got it quite a bit after the children's theatre plays, or most of them anyway. I tended to get it a couple of days after a play because that last week of the play and when the run happens, it pretty much takes over your whole life. The whole of April I pretty much spent devoted to doing this play, and for it to just suddenly go, right, you've done your shows, all over, it's a short, sharp shock, and whilst you're glad for the couple of days rest that follows, Sunday, you're just sort of, rest, And then Monday, just sort of, okay, yep, rested up a bit more, get back in swing of it, and then it hits you. Sometimes it hits you immediately, like the day after, but for me it took a couple of days, and then you just go through this sort of slump of, what am I doing? And I'll be honest, I'm still sort of in it. I'm getting out of it. At least, today I felt less, which is not a great way of describing it. I could use words to try and describe it, but it's more just a sort of feel of just extreme. Again, but I suppose if I was using a word, it's a feeling of extreme, not even extreme, it's just this feeling like you've lost something really cool. And I suppose you have, I love hanging out with the people at the Revellers, and, I imagine some of them will be watching this, you know who you are, and you are awesome, except for Andrew, and Jason when he walks in and ruins everything. But anyway, no, seriously, they're all really, really cool people, and it was, I suppose, it kind of like you can measure how much you enjoyed a show by how long the sort of post-show blues last, and this has been a few days. I think part of it is, which means I must have really enjoyed it, but I think part of it is the fact it was a musical, and so I spent a good solid month, trying to get the song down, and I'll find myself just in my office, or at home, or, in a car or on a train, and I'll just be sat there, and I'll start humming, or practicing, or the lines, or even just warming up the voice, just a bit of, I'll be like that, and you'll realise, I don't need to practice it, but then I've found at least, I can't resist the urge, I'll be sat there, and then, flicking through the iPod, and then, because I've got the soundtrack to the play on the iPod for practicing, and then, I'll come across my song, and then I just can't help myself, it comes on and I have to go. Be not afraid of greatness near, 'twas well writ by you, my dear, just you tell me that you love me, and say, I do. See, and that, it keeps happening, and apologies for not singing too well there, the show was a tiny bit better. But yeah, and the thing is, it's kind of a weird feeling I'm trying to sort of shake off, but thankfully there's enough to be going on with to keep myself busy. But I was just sort of throwing it out there, just in case there's any other people who've felt the same thing when coming off stage. I know it exists, because I've had it with quite a few plays I've spoke to people where everyone just sort of feels a bit lost and dazed and confused. The best way of getting around it is organising a catch-up, and I've no doubt that somewhere out there the Revellers are plotting a catch-up probably sometime next week. Almost certainly at Barricade, I'd imagine. But yeah, that tends to be sort of the only cure, is regular social meetups with your awesome friends. And of course another play. That always does work. There will be a play coming up with the Revellers in the future, which will be going on to information when that comes out, but that's a few months away. So yeah, that's basically it. That's all I've got to say. In the next couple of days, I'll be updating on news. with things like plans for starters. There are plans in motion for a new series of port stories. I did say there might be some coming at the early part of the year. I've now realised that we're in May, so this is no longer the early part of the year. We're now into the second third. So yeah, there will be some more port stories that I've compiled. You remember, these are events that have either happened to me or friends of mine, with obviously the names changed to protect the innocent and, more importantly, protect the guilty. So there are plans in work for a second load of them. And also, one thing that I can confirm for all the football fans out there, once the Premier League season has come to a conclusion in a couple of weeks' time, there will be a Premier League season in review, club by club, 20 video series. You can actually see the previews for that series currently up online on YouTube on the Daily Splatt channel. Just type in Daily Splatt EPL preview and then your team of choice from the 20 Premier League teams. Or you just go on the first one, Arsenal, because I did it alphabetically. You can probably follow. That will be coming up in a couple of weeks. That will be another series of 20 videos, and I'll probably look back on my original predictions with horror. I know for a matter of fact I predicted Arsenal to come second, and for the first half of the season that one didn't look too good. And of course it's still wrong, but third's not bad for them. But you can look at me going, oh, Norwich and Swansea, they're not going to stay up. Yikes. And maybe there'll be some I've got right. Who knows? I've yet to find one, but we'll see. Anyway, but yeah, that's coming up in the next few days. Okay, that is all. Thank you all for watching very much, and I shall speak to you soon. Until then, bye-bye.